What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, this morning I want to give you an update on what Sui'S price is doing because we are seeing a bit of a pullback, leaving a lot of people to wonder what is going to happen next. And so hopefully I can answer that for you in today's video. If I do, and you of course do enjoy, please do let me know by smashing that like button, and let's get straight into it. Now guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade a little bit of Sui'S yourself on up to 50x leverage, you can check out that link to BTCC down below. Guys, I worked out a ridiculous deal where you're going to get a 10% deposit bonus on all deposits above $500, meaning that if you deposit, say, $5,000, you're going to get $500 back. $2,000, you're going to get $200 back. This is one of the best deals on the market, and on top of that, you're going to get extra bonuses of up to $10,000 in bonuses and credits, and an SVIP1 to where you're going to get 40% lower trading fees. So you're going to be trading for cheap, you're going to get bonuses, and a 10% deposit back on your money. Again, that is one of the best deals I've ever seen in this market, even since 2021, so make sure to go check that out in the description down below if you do want to trade some Sui'S and many other cryptos from 50 to 500x leverage. Now, looking at Sui'S, okay, what is going on and how we feeling? Well, let's start with a little bit of context. Okay, let's start with a little bit of context, and then that'll help explain what's going on right here. So over the last couple weeks, we have seen one of the most systematic moves that I've seen from a crypto of this size. Okay, quite simply, what happened is Sui'S price broke above a macro point of resistance, the 618 to 786 bucks, came back down and back tested it, flipped that previous point of resistance into some support, used that to then surpass its previous all-time high, then use that to go past even our most recent all-time high, and then from there, of course, we've now seen a full Fibonacci extension to our first breakout target, which was around $3.27 to $3.36. Now, this was a level that I told you all to be on the lookout for. This was my short-term to mid-term breakout target, and now that Sui'S price has fully hit that target and reached that target, the question then becomes, well, what happens next? So once a crypto will hit a breakout target, okay, let's start there. When a crypto hits a breakout target, the first thing that you need to understand is that many people are going to take profits. They're going to have opened up a trade, they're going to have went long on leverage, the market's pumping, things are good, they hit their breakout target, and people are going to want to take profits. And I want you to understand that that is a good thing. You want people to do that. You want people to be happy because it increases the longevity. When someone comes in and they enter in on a Sui'S trade and then they trade it and they have a profitable trade, now they have more money and more liquidity. And so they're more likely to stick around and reinvest and do things like that, and it's better for the overall market. And so you can't get mad at people for taking profits whenever they have winning trades. Now, when people do start taking profits, it is usually very clear because you're almost going to see an immediate rejection off of a key level, and that's exactly what we saw here. So it's not like something fundamentally changed for Sui'S with this little 8-9% pullback. It's quite simply just that people are taking profits off the table after it's made a beautiful move. And quite frankly, the bigger Sui'S gets and the higher it goes, the more that this is going to happen. And so knowing that people are taking profits off of Sui'S, let's talk about now, where do we think Sui'S can go from here? And what do we think is going to happen from here now that we understand why we're up here and why we're getting rejected from here? Now, I will remind you guys, if you do enjoy the content here on this channel and you want more information and more content from me, you can join my private community for as little as $1 a month. If you'd like to talk to me, ask me questions, and talk to other members, or for $5 a month, you can get access to my extra thoughts and insights, daily fundamental analysis, daily technical analysis, and there are some crash courses going live very soon about trading and fundamentals and much more, so feel free to check that out down below. So what's next? Okay, what's next? So personally speaking, I do believe that it's very possible, remember this is just a guess, but I believe that it's very possible that Sui'S price will continue this move a little bit towards the downside. Now, the reason that I say that is because many of our indicators just became extremely overextended. Our daily RSI pushed heavily out into the overextension zone. Our Bollinger Bands got outside of the Bollinger Bands. The price went outside the Bollinger Bands, which historically is not sustainable. And when I see things like that, it is like, okay, well, this thing is a little bit overpumped. Maybe it needs to cool down a bit. Now, I'm just going to go out there and let you know, I'm not 100% certain that we're going to see a pullback. I'm like 70% certain. And so if this thing, later today just absolutely continues to the upside, fantastic. I'm not complaining, and I'll happily be wrong because my bags just get bigger and bigger. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there that it's not a guarantee. It's not a lock. So I wouldn't be going long on or leverage short trades or selling all your positions right now. I think that's ridiculous. There is still a chance it goes up. I just don't think it's most likely. So what I think is most likely is that we do see it start to venture back down towards some of these lower levels to try to backtest some support. And my current game plan actually is to buy a little bit of Sui'S as it hits each one of these support levels, because I do think that we're going to take one of those support levels and bounce off of it and try to continue higher off of that eventually. Now, the first three support levels that I'm personally looking for are going to be as follows. So the first one that I'm looking at is is a very short-term support level that's identifiable here on the 4-hour charts. What we're going to do is we're going to take our Fibonacci's and we're going to draw it from this little low that we put right down here as we back test it. And we're going to go up here. That creates a 618 to 786 zone between $2.58 and $2.40. And this is the first zone of support that I do think Sui'S very likely to some degree to come down to. Now, again, that's still a 10 to 15% pullback from here. It might not go that low, but this is where I personally am going to be comfortable doing some purchasing. So let's lay that out as support zone number 1. Now, if Sui'S price does come back here, again, I have every intention to start doing a little bit of accumulating at that level. Although it might not hold and we might bounce and go through it, I don't really care. That is rather normal, but again, I like to buy Sui'S at some support levels because again, I do expect eventually we will make that move to the upside. The way that I think that this is playing out is that we put in a 1 wave, a 2 wave, a 3 wave, a 4 wave, and a 5 wave to the upside, and that we might come back down for some sort of ABC correction, use that ABC correction to find support, and then try to continue upwards. And so because of that, again, I'm going to be doing some buying at this first level of support. Now, the second level of support is actually not very far away from that support level. It's a little bit lower, towards $2.20. The reason why I'd be buying some Sui'S here is if we go out to the daily charts, what you can see is that this does align very well with that previous high that we had, that previous all-time high back here, around $2.20, and of course this little liquidity level that we put in right here. A bit below this red box, but not super far below it, so that would be support level number 2. And then finally speaking, if Sui'S price just does go through absolutely through those levels and continue lower, I will be doing some accumulating back on top of this 618 to 786 zone, which is currently labeled around $1.54. I'm not very confident that Sui'S price is going to come back down here. It is possible. I'm just not confident that that's going to happen. But if it does happen, I plan on doing a big amount of accumulation, quite simply just because it held up so well right here. And it is such a strong liquidity point that I do expect if we do get back down there, Sui'S price will try at least to make another move to the top side. And I think that would be a decent time to accumulate. So my current thought and thesis is that Sui'S price may very well start to pull back. It may very well start to cool down, and that's totally okay. It's super common for us to have these sort of moves to where we do, a 5 wave to the upside. And you can even notice there's a 5 wave in the macro, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So an ABC correction is not the end of the world. You ABC correct, you use that, build foundation, and continue upwards. And it also happened in the shorter time frames as well. And so my thought process is that a pullback right now is totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's super natural, it's healthy, and it's good for the longevity of Sui'S chart action. And so what I want to see is Sui'S price coming back down towards, $2.50 to $2.40, at which point I'll do my first accumulation. My second one would be a little bit lower at $2.20, and my third one and my big one would be anywhere below $1.70. So of course, if and when this does play out, I will continue to update you. I am not 100% certain that Sui'S price is going to continue back down here again. It just does feel like it's what's most likely. And so from there, and because of that, as we do get more developments and as this does, start to move a bit more from here, we have more clarity. I will continue to update, of course, as this all does play out. So make sure to leave me your comments and thoughts down in the comment section below. And while you are down there, don't forget that if you do want to trade some Sui'S yourself while this thing is starting to get a little crazy, check out that BTCC link down below to get up to $10,000 in bonuses, 40% lower trading fees, and a 10% deposit bonus on all deposits over $500. And lastly, if you do want to talk to me, ask me questions, and join the general community for as little as $1 a month, check out that Patreon link that is linked down below, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.